So just to recap here, Mark, so it sounds like what you're saying first, what a client of mine or somebody phoning you needs to do is they need to get a line of credit in place on their house so that they basically, in essence, have cash available, and now they can start the looking process. And they're going to do that by going on, to your www.crossborderrealty.com. Now,
Right.
quick question. When they're going on your website and they're looking for the listings, are the listings indicating let's say the price that was original in the peak market, like what the difference is, how much it's dropped, whether it is in a short sale? Is it showing that, or is that something that you pursue afterwards?
Most times it'll tell the person if it is a short sale. They're typically not going to give original prices or historical prices on the property.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that we'll provide the client with when they get down that path, if
Right.
you will. So, when someone is about to venture off on, a specific property, we're going to show them all certainly the history of that property, which a lot of the county websites will also show if they go and do their homework inside some of those sites.
Right.
But we'll provide all those details for clients. We'll show them what the recent sales were in the last 3 months, what's for rent in the area if they're going to use it as an investment property, how many are for rent, and what they've been renting for.
Okay, so I've got my line of credit approved. I'm on your website. Am I going to call you first or just start looking? And then once I've done that, the other thing I wanted to just for you to touch on is, when do I need to come down, or do I need to come down?
Well, that's a good question. I think, I know people who are buying second homes are always coming down. They're going to come down for, 3 or 4 days, work with us, and we're going to go out. Obviously we're going to do a lot of homework online, show them things that, we think, they'll say, well, I want to be in Scottsdale, or I want to be in, Summerlin in Vegas, or I want to be in some other area. So we'll sort of narrow it down for them, and then when they come down, we'll have a good plan in place for when they get down to look at property. Somebody who's looking at it as a pure investment, and this is a lot of the Aussie Rock clients that we've been working with, is they're looking for cash flow. Mm-hmm. So they want an investment that is going to rent, obviously, that we can take care of, and that can rent. So a lot of times what we end up doing with a lot of those folks is that we will do a lot of the due diligence for them. Our agents will go and we'll take videos of the property, or we'll take extra photos of the property once we've narrowed it down, and then we'll start making offers on property. Because, as I was telling you, it's a bit of a longer process. When we actually do get acceptance on a property, I would say probably half of our clients come down to view, and the other half, rely on our expertise to, not only make sure that transaction closes properly, but then also that our property management team picks up from where, once that property does close, to make sure that we get the best income and make sure we get the right tenant for the property, because that's obviously, one of the most important parts of the process, is that it gets rented and it's getting the income that.
And Mark, quite honestly, that's why I got you on today, because I wanted, I didn't want to just get anybody on today. I wanted somebody, like I said before, that, that my clients can be rest assured that, their best interests are going to be taken care of. And, I know you could probably go on for hours about this, and I really encourage anybody who's interested in watching this to go onto your website, crossborderrealty.com, get in touch with you, because like you said earlier, there's tons and tons of information, and the fact that you know it is great, but we won't be able to discuss it all today. But I really liked what you touched on. It sort of gives your beginner kind of an idea where to start, and I really appreciate you joining with me, and it's been a real wealth of information.
Great. Thank you very much, Mark. I'll just say one thing. A lot of folks will ask me what type of return they can expect down in places like Las Vegas or Phoenix. Some of our investors right now are getting about a 9% rate of return. So, depending what the individual is looking for, if it's more capital appreciation or it's more cash flow that they're looking for, we'll obviously steer them in the direction that we feel will give them the best bang for their buck. When we did this when I sent some properties to Aussie about a year ago in Vegas, we were sending $50,000 condos that are now selling in the $90,000 range. So we've been selling a bunch of properties now in Phoenix that have been selling in the 40s, 50s, 60s. Where we've also seen appreciation of $10,000, $20,000. So I know a lot of folks will look at, you know, the macroeconomic situation and not see it as one that is so great. But, you know, as Ozzy always said, you have to look for the individual opportunity. Mm-hmm. And there always are individual opportunities. Like we're working at the auctions right now. We have an investment fund that we buy for. So we're working at the auction. So if we have people who are looking for more wholesale opportunities, we have that service available. And then we also have, you know, your conventional way of purchasing it through, you know, through the conventional channels that we've been doing, obviously, for years. That works very well. So,
so really quick, you mentioned an investment fund. Is that something that's open for people to invest in, or is it something that you're just doing privately down there?
It was open for Canadian investors, accredited investors in Canada. We closed our first fund, and our second fund we hope to come out in the next month or two as well.
Oh, so I'll be excited to hear about that. Yeah, okay. Thanks, Mark. Great information, and I really appreciate you coming on today.
Mark, thank you very much for having me on.
Okay, have a great day.
You too.